Hello and welcome to Couples Drive, where married couples share their stories from when they met, courted, got married, and beyond. I'm your host, Atuboyan. Now, how many married couple can confidently admit to you that they knew the person they were going to get married to at the tender age of 10, 11, or even 12? Go ahead, I'll wait. Not many, right? Well, one half of my next guest knew exactly who she was going to get married to at a very tender age. Find out from the rest of the story of Sam and Mercy. This is part one of my ride with them. Take a look.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Couples Drive. And today I'm so excited because I have with me Mercy and Sam. Guys, welcome.
Thank you.
And thank you for making time to hitch a ride with me.
You're welcome.
I'm in Worcester, Massachusetts. I came all the way from New York to interview this couple. So I'm very excited. How is your day going today?
Good.
It's going great.
Good.
Just came out of service, so.
Good. How was
Great.
church?
Church was good.
Good? I'm excited already. Well, so you guys have been married for 3-4 years?
4 years.
Going 5.
We just started 4.
We
Yeah.
just started 4.
Yeah, so we're working in 5.
I see. How is it like? 4 years of marriage. What has the experience been like?
It's been amazing. It's been amazing just getting to live the rest of your life with the love of your life and just growing together with an individual that cares about you, wants the best for you, and just support you in everything you do. It's just been an amazing journey.
Tio, do you agree?
I definitely agree. It's been great.
I see.
Yeah. Different. I mean, you wake up, and my husband said, you're with the love of your life, and you're with somebody who supports you 100% in all that you do. Pretty much your life partner, as they say. So, somebody who you know is going to back you 100% and support you in all that you do.
So how was the preparation towards marriage like for you? Like being single and preparing towards marriage. How was it tedious, and what did you learn during that process towards marriage?
Was it tedious? I guess in a way, because I've always seen myself as being married, so I was like, oh man, I can't.
You've always seen yourself as being married.
Right. Like I knew there would get to a point where I would be married.
Okay.
And I guess sometimes I'd be like, oh wait, I can't wait till I get married. But preparation towards it, I knew it was necessary, so I prepared myself. And knowing that as I was growing up, I prepared myself in the sense that I knew that I was going to be somebody's wife at some point.
Okay.
So I always tried to think like that.
How did you prepare?
I mean, I read some books. I knew there were some things that I had to do. Of course, as a woman, a Ghanaian child, you have to know how to cook. You have to know how to take care of a house. And that was something my mom would always push into my head. You're gonna be somebody's wife. You can't be doing this. You can't be doing that. So, those were just some ways that I prepared.
Sam, how about you? From a single man to a married man, or how was it like?
For me, it was a little bit different. Because for me as a man, I knew in order for me to enter into a marriage, the first thing is being responsible, having a job, being to make some income to take care of a family and provide for your family. And also, being a Christian young man, I wanted to grow in the Lord so I can be a leader in my home. So those things were things that I worked on. But, ever since I was in school, I was always looking forward to, getting married eventually.
Right.
So, me, right after I finished school, not less than a year, Charlie, I jumped right into it.
Wow.
Just being ready and being certain that this is the individual you want to spend your life with, and preparing in every way possible to make that journey smooth.
How did you guys meet?
How did we meet?
Yeah.
We met in the church.
What
Not
church?
surprising. Church of Pentecost.
Okay.
Worcester Assembly.
I see.
At the age of Sunday schoolers. Yes. It's funny. I always tell everyone that that's how we met. And the funny thing is, while we were young, I would be like the Sunday school secretary, and my wife would be the assistant. In youth ministry, I'd be the secretary, she would be the assistant, or vice versa. And it was just weird. So hindsight is always 2020, right? So I look back, I'm like, oh.
So this thing has been.
I think our Sunday school just knew and they were hooking us up or something.
So that's your Sunday school teacher see you nowadays and go like, I knew this will happen.
They never officially said it, but you could tell they knew something.
Wow, so all the way from Sunday school.
Yes, sir.
So at what point did you realize she's going to be the one?
For me?
Yes.
Growing up is one of those things you understand. I understood in order for me to go into marriage, I have to be fully ready and certain that this was the journey that I needed to take.
Right.
The funny thing is, my wife, she's a very prayerful woman, and for some reason, somehow she knew I was the one. But for me, I was like, bruh, I need to make certain that, this is the journey, you're the person for me. I would say years in college, once I was wrapping up my undergrad and going into grad school, I knew for sure this was the individual that God wanted me to spend the rest of my life with.
How? I mean, is it through prayers, or is it something about her, something she did?
It's just certainty. You there's no fear. You're not worried about it. You're not second guessing yourself. Maybe that's the phrase I want to use. And of course, I prayed about it. But usually when I'm not certain about a decision, God will always let me know that, hey, bro, this is not the journey you need to go into. But for this one, there was no fear. There was no second guessing. There was no worries or concerns. There wasn't any distractions as to, yes, this is the direction that God wanted me to go as far as my marriage life is concerned and spending the rest of my life with her.
So, Mercy, you knew from all the way back that he's the one. Was it something about him, or was it maybe through some divine inspiration or revelation that gave you that sense of assurance?
I can't give you one answer.
Okay.
I know, and I don't know if Sam knows this, but I've been praying about my marriage since I was young. And
How
when
young?
I say young, like when I was in New York. And so I moved here when I was 11. So I remember when I was younger, like I'd always pray, God, please give me a good husband. I want a good marriage. And for some reason, I don't know, Sam and I, we, like he said, Sunday school days, we were working together. And in the beginning, I didn't see him as my husband, but there was just one day, I was just like, this man is going to be my husband. I don't know what it was. I can't tell you any specific thing, but I just knew he was going to be my husband. And of course, I started liking him because
was it something about him? Something
I can't
he did?
pinpoint. I mean,
Really?
he likes to joke. Back then, he liked to, joke and bother me. I don't know if that's what drew me to him, but I just knew that he was going to be my husband. So, of course, I prayed about it, even as young as that. I did pray about it, but like he said, you just feel that sense of certainty that that's what it is, and that's how I felt about him. So.
Well, and now looking back, you made the right choice.
I did.
Definitely. You did?
Yes, I did.
Yes, sir. One thing I can say about my wife is, like she said, she knew all along. But for me, what drew me really to her was just even at a young age, she just, you see your mom at home and you're like, yes, this is a person I want my wife to be. Soft spoken, very respectful. of course, beautiful, but her character was something that just drew me, and I couldn't question her character. I wasn't concerned about her character, and I knew this is somebody that is real. Even when she knew and I didn't know, it's just something that she had in her. She was just a wonderful young lady. Even at a young age, she was carried herself as a matured young individual, and that just attracted me to her.
So, Mercy, knowing your husband for all these years, what do you think is one of the greatest character trait that you can bank on?
One thing I know about Sam is that when he's into something, he puts his all into it. So, prime example, the work of God, he will put his all into it. Like, if it's not going right, he will make sure it goes right. And I know, sometimes I'll complain that, you're always at church or we don't see you too much, but that's just how he is. Like, when he's driven about something, he'll put 110% into it. And I mean, it's great because you know that, he's not going to get 50, he's not, and that goes into like our marriage. He's for it, he puts 100% into it.
Sam, do you share the same thing about your wife? Or what would you say is her greatest strength?
Her greatest strength, she's just easy to get along with. She doesn't carry things. Even if you get into an argument with her or misunderstanding with her, she doesn't carry over the next day. She's extremely respectful. Like, if you meet my wife, you just know that about her. Very, very respectful. Even if she doesn't know you, she will respect you. And those are the things that, you can't teach. She just has it. And those are the things that I love about her. And everyone, she's very easy to get along with. Everybody just loves being around with her. And it's just the type of person she is.
Infectious.
Very, very. And those are things that I'm personally learning from her as well. Makes time for people. Very sacrificial. Very, very sacrificial. Sometimes I'm like, you need to learn how to say no. She's like, no, I need to help this individual.
Okay, on the flip side of that,
yes,
if there's anything about her you don't like, that you have the chance to change, or you can pray to God, can you take this one from me? I can't stand it. What would that be?
Well, I guess it's not a big deal, but to me, she is somebody that wants to, always inquire. Like, I told she's always bothering me. What are you going to eat tonight? I'm like, you're the chef. Just put it together. I don't have a big, meal plan or anything. Put it together, I'll eat. Just go along. But she likes to please people. And I would say, there's a balance between it. Try to balance it out. But it's just, this is a tough question. You just stumped me, to tell you the truth. One thing I don't like about my wife. I think you should go to her and then I'll rethink it.
All right. Okay. Let's see.
I was hoping you wouldn't come to me.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
You don't know?
No.
Your husband is perfect?
He's not perfect, but
Perfect.
I don't think, I just adjust.
So what have you adjusted to so far?
Okay, so we were talking about this the other time. He doesn't like to put things where he takes some from. So, when I see that, I'll just take it and go and put it, where I know it belongs. Just because I didn't live by myself, but, I had my own space when I was in my parents' house. I had my own space. Okay. So if I put something somewhere, nobody was going to go and move it because I was the only one there. Okay. So I'm used to when I put something somewhere, it's in my... sometimes I calculate these things. This goes here, that goes there. So I'm used to when I get back, I expect it to be there. Sometimes it's not there. So then I'll be looking for it. I'll be like, babe, did you see this? And of course he doesn't remember where he put it. So then I have to go searching for it. But I mean, again, that's not really a big deal because if I find it on the way, I'll just go and put it back to.
It's a big deal, though.
Where I know.
But it gets to you sometimes.
I mean, of course, sometimes, like if I'm in a hurry, and I was expecting, like a cup to be in a specific spot, then yeah. But
what one thing do you guys argue most about?
Food. Food at all.
How so? I mean, what kind of food?
Like
you
he
eat?
said, yeah.
Like I'm at work, but and then she's like, "What do you want to eat today?" I'm like, "It doesn't matter. Whatever you make, I'm gonna eat. You're the chef. I'm just the."
Wait, but so, maybe that's a way of making sure you get what you want.
Right. I don't want to make something that you're not in the mood for. And sometimes, I'm the one that cooks in the house, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes I run out of ideas, so I'll call him and be like, do you have any idea of what you want to eat? Give me some inspiration so that I can know where to go. Because I don't want to feel like you're eating the same thing all the time, you know? So give me some inspiration, just an idea, maybe pasta or rice or to help me out.
So I guess one of the things she probably doesn't like about me is I'm not direct when it comes to my selection.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I agree with her. I am not. Yeah.
So Sam, are we going to agree going forward? You're going to be direct
when it comes to food.
When it comes to food,
you can't make that promise.
I'll do my best. Bible says, "Man shall not live by bread alone." So, but one thing I would say about my wife that it's not a big deal, but everybody has their insecurities, and sometimes she worries about those things too much, and I'm like, it's not a big deal to me. Don't worry too much about those things. But to her, it's something that she thinks about. So
you mean like making sure you eat the right thing, or
yes,
eat the right food? Oh, okay.
Making sure that I'm being the best wife that I can be to him.
Well, Sam, I think that's all for your goodness.
That's right. That's right.
So now you guys have been married for almost 4 years now.
4
you have
years.
how many children?
Two beautiful children.
Boy, girls?
Both. One boy, one girl.
Oh, nice.
Yes. We're blessed.
How is it like being a parent?
It's awesome and it's challenging.
Okay. What makes it awesome? What makes it challenging?
It's awesome to be blessed with children because children are a gift of God.
Right.
So for God to see it fit that He would give us these children to raise in Him, it's a privilege, but it's also a challenge in the sense that we have to raise them in Him. These children have their own mind, and being able to guide them and direct them, even in the environment that they're in. So they're not always by our side 24/7. There's going to be a point where they're going to be among peers, they're going to go to school, they're not going to be right beside us. And just being able to instill God in them, instill in values in them, good values in them, that's a task in its own.
I agree with her. It's just a joy to have that God has blessed you with such beautiful kids. But for me, the word I love to use is it's an experience, a learning experience. Yeah. Just sitting there, like, one day you have this 6 pound, 7 pound child, and now all of a sudden they're growing, talking, and just their mind, the way they do things, is just like, wow, this is beautiful. But the challenging part is you want to make sure, with the things that are going on in your world, that you bring them up in the fear of the Lord and train them the right way so they can be influential individuals when they grow up. But one thing that I always keep in my mind is I know someday they're going to grow up and get married too. So I want them to become the best husband to their wife, or a great wife to their husband. And that's the values I want to instill in my kids. But it's also annoying sometimes when you're trying to have some wife and husband time. You have kids all over and jumping in your bed like, get out of my room. Or at 6 a.m. you're trying to catch your last 15 minutes of sleep and daddy, mommy, like, come on, let me rest for some 15 minutes. So it has its ups and downs, but overall it's a blessing. It's a blessing.
That's nice. Do you guys have access to each other's social media account? And
yes.
You do?
Yep. I have access to her emails. She has access to my emails. I don't even put a password. Well, she even put the password on my phone.
Oh, okay.
Because my kids were always all up in our phone.
So she can pick up your calls and
Yep.
Yeah,
access, read your text, reply to your text messages.
Yes. She does all the time.
Do you think as couples you need some sense of privacy?
So there needs to be transparency, but the only reason why I would say there should be something private is if you are going to do something for the other person.
Oh, okay.
Right. I don't know.
I mean, the only thing I'll say privacy per se is, let's say for instance, she needs to have some time to go to the spa and do her thing, and so I'll be like, hey, go out, chill out. I'll watch the kids. So, but other than that, if there's anything she needs to do and she needs some time for it, I'll let her do it.
What do you miss most about her when she's not around or when she travels?
Just her smile, man. Her beautiful smile. Her beautiful smile. She just keeps everything. Yeah, man. You see her smile and your heart goes boom, boom.
All right, so just the smile makes
her smile, and then she runs the house. Like, she's a homekeeper, so you leave me with these two kids, it's gonna be a wreck sometimes. But I do the best I can to make sure.
You do a great job.
When she comes back, she's not regretting that she left the house.
But what about you? When Sam is not home, what do you miss most?
His presence.
Okay.
Just him being there makes a big difference. Just knowing that I can be like, hey babe, like, can you do this? Not for what he can do, but just having him around.
Okay.
Especially with the kids too as well. Mm-hmm. Just him being home, you can tell there's a difference when he's home versus when he's not home. When he's not home, I feel so stressed. Like nothing may be going on, but when he's home, I'm just more at ease, like in my mind.
So if he's home and maybe watching Boston Red Sox playing,
maybe Celtics. I don't know about Red Sox.
Playing anybody, and you want to interrupt him, how does he take it?
So I know when to interrupt him and when not to interrupt him. If he's watching Golden State, I'm not gonna interrupt him. I won't even tell him anything because I know it's not going in. Yeah, it's not going in. But if he's not busy and he's just chilling, like not watching something important, he's fine with it.
Big Golden State fans. I wonder how you felt like when they won the championship.
We were all happy.
Oh, are you a Golden State fan too?
Just for his sake, we're all happy.
Well, you sure know how to keep your man happy. You'll be a Golden State fan just because of your husband.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on husband and wife keeping the same account or separate account?
What are my thoughts?
Let me put it this way. Do you guys keep the same account or have different accounts?
We currently have different accounts. Okay. We don't keep the same account. And that's something we communicate with each other, right? Okay. It depends on the two individuals. I don't hide anything from her. We actually do a budget together as a family. Okay. So I know how much money she makes, and she knows how much money I make. We have a budget every day. These are expenses. These are the things we want to do with our money. So let's say she goes and buys something, and I see a bunch of Amazon boxes. Yes. You know what? I'll divert from your question a little bit. One thing that she does that irks me is Amazon boxes showing up at my house every day after work.
Every day.
But she's a businesswoman, so now I understand. I give her the leeway now. But yeah, those Amazon boxes. So, but yeah, we keep a separate account, but we know how much money she makes. I know what she's spending her money on, and whatever we want to do with our money, we communicate as a family.
We have like a budget app where we input our expenses in. So even though we have the different accounts, we know where the money is going.
Okay. What are your thoughts on premarital sex? Do you think it's good to get to know somebody, marry the person without having that sexual encounter? People claim that you cannot go to a car dealership without testing it.
Correct.
What are your thoughts on that? Do you think it helps or ruins?
First off, you can't compare a machine to an individual.
Okay.
And people that make those analogies, I personally don't agree with them at all. A human being is not a machine. A machine has no feelings.
Okay.
If a machine has no emotion, so you cannot make that comparison. So I don't believe in premarital sex. I believe in, keeping yourself unto marriage, put on the chastity belt, and grow and learn together with your wife. Figure each other out, and learn about each other sexually in your relationship.
Just to piggyback on what he said, first off, we're Christians. And
It's what?
First off, we're Christians. So,
Okay.
of course, Christians don't practice premarital sex.
Okay.
So that's our number one thing that we run by the word of God. In addition to that, when you go into the marriage, if you have somebody who you're going to marry, you shouldn't be worried about whether the sex is going to be all right or not all right. You're trusting God that this is who he has given to you. He's going to make it good or all right for you in terms of sex. So there's no need in trying out sex before marriage. And even if you go into the marriage and the sex isn't as what you expected it to be, like Sam was saying, that's how you learn each other. You work it out. You learn about what you can do together as a married couple. And just one thing that we were preparing for this seminar that we were in, and one thing that I read that has really stuck with me was that if you do so many things, so like you kiss, you have sex, whatever, you do so many things before marriage, by the time you get to marriage, your special list of items that you can do together is going to be slim. It's not going to be as special because you've already done it before.
Yeah.
So if you save sex for marriage, it becomes all the more special.
So what if you've not been able to wait and you've crossed that boundary? What do you guys think people should do? Because there are people who may not have that Christian upbringing, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
And may have done that unknowingly. And maybe look back and regret. What would you say to them?
I mean, at the end of the day, everyone has their challenges in life,
Right.
and the biggest thing is learning from them. So if that individual has already done it, you grow and live, and make sure that you don't repeat it. Even if it's a struggle, and you know this is the individual for you, then get married. Why not get married? Why not lock it together? If you believe this is the individual for you, maybe some financial reasons why you don't want to marry that individual, then work something out together, and get married and live life and enjoy each other if that's the individual that you believe is for you. And one thing I'll say is marriage is not just about that. Right. There's a lot more to marriage than just that. That is just, a 5-10 minute thing that you're going to do in a day, or a 30-minute thing that you're going to do in a day. So what about the rest of the 24 hours in the day? You're going to be spending with that individual. You're going to be growing with that individual. So, marriage is not just about the sex part.
Okay. How often do you guys pray together?
So, we pray together, not a lot, unfortunately. Our work schedules are all over the place. And with the kids, sometimes we sleep very late. So, at least, one of our challenges. We pray individually. So sometimes I'm going to work at 7 in the morning. So I have to wake up by 5:30, get ready, And I know she went to bed late because the kids, and with the newborn, he keep her up. So I'm able to pray individually, but typically I want her to rest as well.
Okay.
But typically on the weekends when we're off, we try to come together and pray as a family. But we'd like to do that more often.
All right, I want to go back to when you, before you guys got married, right? You said that you prepared in a certain way just because of the expectations you had for marriage. Is there anything that you regret not doing, or anything that you did that you regret from the time you guys knew each other, got married? Is there anything that you've done that you wish if you had the time, or if you could roll back the hand of time, you could actually do it in another way? Hey, welcome back. That was part 1 of my ride with Mercy and Sam, and as usual, I hope you learned from them. Please make sure you subscribe to our channel on YouTube, and also follow us on Facebook and Instagram so that you'll be notified once new videos are posted. I'll see you next time with part 2 of my ride with Sam and Mercy. Until then, let's keep love alive.